One of the nation's largest school systems, school districts actually, is encouraging activism and getting involved at a young age in a way that I don't think we've ever seen before, and conservatives hate it. Starting January 27th, Fairfax County Public Schools in Northern Virginia, they're gonna permit students in 7th through 12th grades one excused absence each school year for, it's a loosely defined civic engagement activities. The school board member who introduced the policy, Ryan McElveen, says it could mean marches, sit-ins, or going to the state capitol. But that school board member actually has already faced some backlash online from conservative critics who charge the policy is the latest instance of the left coddling its too liberal, too sensitive youth. A nearby school district in Maryland actually also tried to do this last year, but they got hundreds of emails, letters from self-identified conservatives complaining, one could call it protesting. At one point, the school board member who proposed the policy in Maryland was invited to discuss excused absences for student protesters on Laura Ingram's show. It's just that serious. And also, like, I guess you could go to a Klan rally if you wanted to.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I was gonna say, which is like conservatives say, oh, like you can go and do civic engagement. It must be a liberal program. Why can't you do civic engagement, right? So I mean, you can go to a hate rally or whatever if you want, if you're a conservative, or like God forbid you do something good in the world. Like you could be like, hey, this is conservatives to feed the homeless. And we're taking the day off and we're bringing all of our kids. By the way, there are conservatives that do feed the homeless, believe it or not. It does exist, okay? So why not do that? It's, oh, great, what a wonderful thing that the school did that I can teach my kids, let's go do this. Or whatever you want. Why does it have to be just for progressives? It isn't just for progressives, but they think civic engagement,
right?
like the kids voicing their opinions, freedom of speech, we hate that. Wait a minute, I thought the right wing complained all day, all night online about how they don't have enough freedom of speech. Now when the students are encouraged to speak out, they're like, oh, don't do that, bottle them up, shush, shush, they might be opposed to us, shush, no freedom of speech.
I don't
Ironic.
know. Wait a minute, Cenk. I don't know if you watched The Handmaid's Tale, but
oh my God, where's this
which
going?
is where we're headed. On that show, women and children are property and don't have the right to speak up. And in the conservative realm, it is the men, the straight white men who have all the voice and are the ones that are supposed to be speaking up on behalf of us all, without any regard to our needs. What I think is really interesting about this is that being liberal and progressive has become synonymous with fighting for the rights of others who do not have rights according to white supremacy. Like that's become synonymous. The fact that you want to fight for the rights of LGBTQIA plus people, Black Lives Matter, the children in the cages, that has now become synonymous for conservatives with liberalism. So what train of thought is that you guys wanting to have a voice and a seat at the table is radical thinking? That is the epitome of privilege to me. And it's just so sad because these are the people who are always talking about the Constitution. They fight for the Constitution. They show their guns on Instagram on behalf of the Constitution. And here you are teaching children to exercise their constitutional rights. And it is liberalism and being a snowflake. And listen, let's not be fooled that we don't have issues with liberals and them being extreme in their own right. But this ain't it. This ain't it, bro. Like, this ain't it. The fact that these children, people like that come from the communities that I come from, need to know that these are our rights because we are taught that we don't have rights. And then we rebel and we act out, and then people say, look how they act. Look how they act. It was this man, this conservative, I forgot his name, Jock, who tweeted a picture of these young Black men fighting and said, until we are able to discuss young Black men being violent in numbers without being called racist, we will not alleviate these issues. And it was like, that is the thinking. Nobody goes beyond what causes those things. And it's the fact that we don't talk about white supremacy like it's real or institutionalized oppression. We talk about it like it's, oh, here we go again. Slavery ended 400 years ago. I always go back to these issues because when you hear stuff like this happening, it is usually the marginalized that suffers the greatest price. Because when you have privilege, you're probably not gonna get arrested for protesting. But when Black Lives Matter does, they get beat up, they get tear gas. So I have to speak up on behalf of the marginalized, because those are the people that suffer the most at the hands of this foolishness.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.